Okay.
Aloha, this is Jeanne Russell, and I have the Dolphin Touch Wellness Center here on Kauai, which I am in right now. I'm in my treatment room. We have the water massage table, and here we do all different types of Lemurian dolphin activations, connection to the water, the ocean. We do dolphin energetics in the ocean. We take you out into the water and work with you in the beautiful blue, clear waters of Kauai and see the turtles and the dolphins and go out on the boat and just connect with the whole energy of this beautiful, beautiful island. Just a thing that we have coming up, we have a Reiki retreat certification for 1 and 2, August 5th through the 9th. If you're here on Kauai, we'd love to have you join us. We have a retreat here on Kauai in October, the 28th through November 2nd, and that is Dolphin Energetics and Lemurian Activation. We're going to be out on the west side. We're going to visit Waimea Canyon. We're going to go to the ocean. I'm going to be doing the Dolphin Energetics in there, and I'm going to do Lemurian activation and awakening that process of remembering who you were in Lemuria and taking that information into the present and bringing forward those gifts that you had in Lemuria, and we're reawakening that. And then in, what is it, June, we're going to be in Mount Shasta doing a retreat called Awaken to Your True Self. And that's going to be the 9th through the 14th. And we just came back from Shasta not too long ago. We had an amazing experience, just connecting with the mountain, and we did inipi ceremonies. We made medicine pouches. We connected with the people and the land. And that's what we do when we go to different places. We connect with the healers and the energy people and centers and power centers of the land. And that was pretty amazing too. So
Wow.
that's a little bit about us here. If you want to find out more, you can go to dolphintouch.org and check out our website. Today, I have a special guest. Sarah Granahan has been to the center a couple of times. We had a wonderful meeting here on Kauai. It was so serendipitous, just showed up, connected, and we've just been friends ever since. And we have a mutual love of crystals and Andaras, which we'll talk about later, and some wonderful things. And I just really love Sarah. I think that it'd be best if she can explain to you all her lovely gifts and attributes. Sarah, tell us about yourself.
Yeah. Hi there. Sarah Granahan with Color My Spirit Wellness. And yeah, I had the pleasure of meeting Jeannie last year, going to Kauai, not just once, but twice. I was led there and Spirit gifted me with that. And I was so thankful for that experience. I've always wanted to go to Hawaii, and we chose Kauai, and it was just magical. But what I do and what I have been connected to since I've been a little girl is the rainbow. So just connecting to the energy of all the colors. My creative side gets excited with that, but also just I had a deep kind of knowing and calling, with the colors and unifying that. And I realized that people kind of reflect all the different colors of the rainbow. That's what humanity is. So we all
Yeah.
have our certain gifts. We all have our certain talents and abilities. We all have our ways that we bridge communication. And so we're starting to see that and download that more, that the rainbow is a bridge to connect us to not only magical places like Hawaii and Kauai, but also bridging communication between people, bridging communications between the animals, the planet, the water, like you work with as a modality. My modalities I'm trained in are the healing touch program. So chakra balancing is kind of where people come to see me with messages from spirit and guidance. So we'll set intentions for those sessions, and then we'll check the fields, the physical, mental, emotional, spiritual fields, tuning into the chakras, front and back, and minor chakras. And then we'll go ahead and do this session to get guidance and see what's going on. And a lot of times we'll maybe set an intention and then all of a sudden during a session, information will come out that this person's, feeling kind of stuck in their career. They're feeling like they need more empowerment there. And so I'll get to actually trace and see where the energy is specifically going, and then able to bridge that in communication with that like rainbow symbol to connect them and to let them know that, there's a part of your soul or spirit that is seeking this. And is that true in your conscious mind, or is it just in your subconscious, unconscious mind? And they'll often be like, yes, I didn't even tell you that, but that's what I've been feeling like. I need to shift. I need to have a change. So I do that for adults. I do that for children, teens. We see a lot of college age people right now that are coming in kind of feeling lost, or, wanting a little bit more guidance along their way. And what I always tell people is, you already have all the answers inside of you. A practitioner, somebody that supports you, or coach, or a therapist, they're just trying to uncover the truths that are inside of you already. So we just help walk that journey with them to, again, bridge that communication so that they can feel closer, more inspired, get that clarity too, and just feel more connected and on a better path than instead of feeling kind of lost in the darkness in a tunnel. Not only healing touch, I'm trained in Holy Fire Reiki, quantum touch, and then uh, integrative energy therapy, which is a trauma release therapy that was introduced to me last year that I just had to take.
Mm.
That works with releasing the emotions and also across timelines. So not only currently, but also past. It goes deep into the past of any emotions that might be stuck in the system. Because in a way, like we're all almost like a computer, we get backlogged over time, just storing information that was good memories, troubling things, challenges, obstacles, wanting more clarity, all the different things. So these sessions don't erase those things from being known, but they just help take the pressure, ease some of that information off, so you feel lighter again, you feel more at peace, and then you can receive the clarity that you're looking for on your life's journey, whether it's relationships, career. Um, I just want self-care. We get a lot of clients that just come in for energy sessions for self-care. But at Color My Spirit Wellness, it's not only myself too. I have other practitioners there that see clients for all different all their training and modalities. So Zach Cormier, he is the acupuncturist. So he's very busy supporting people on a day-to-day basis. And then we've got Brittany Gale. She's a social worker background. So she does a lot of breath work in groups, moms that are prenatal, working with them with yoga and gentle stretches and things that they can do, plus coaching. Carolyn Sheehan, she's amazing. She teaches a lot of the hypnotherapy classes. She's also hypnotherapist certified. She does energy work as well, and angelic Reiki, and tons of different training. So each month she comes out with all her classes and experiences that she has at the shop that she offers. And then we have Jeanne Page. She's a medium channel, and then she's also trained in hypnotherapy. Marceletta Miles, she does shamanic work, coaching. She does I think career, business, spiritual, all those kinds of things. If you want to get some coaching and some guidance and some support, you can see her. And then we also newly have a woman named Jeanette Cormier. She is actually doing QHHT sessions. So that's going to be taking you back through the past, and those are hours long sessions. So they're just going to experience, what is still kind of in your subconscious that wants to come to the conscious mind to be seen, heard, or known, to maybe help you get over obstacles or struggles that you may have. I'm also trained in hypnotherapy as well. And then I'm also trained at Duke as a integrative health coach. So I can offer different types of sessions and support, whether it's individual sessions, or sometimes people will come and they want to go through a series. So we can kind of customize that for each person that comes through. But what's nice is at the shop, just like the rainbow image, we have an array of different people and practitioners that people can choose from if they really feel drawn to one person, or they'd like a male, or someone else to work with. They can do that. We also have Sammy at the shop, and we were just talking earlier. She does the colors in the hair and fairy hair. She also does Akashic records.
I have
Um,
this.
Yeah, yeah. So, we do sometimes when we do our festivals, we do an open house called Tribe Vibe Fest, and that's when people around the Raleigh, North Carolina region, that's where we're based right now, can come out and experience mini sessions. So sessions that they've maybe never tried before, sessions that they're curious about. So we'll sell mini tickets, and then they can go ahead and just for a fraction of what it would cost for a full session, try an energy session, try an acupuncture session, try a hypnotherapy experience, and then get fairy hair if they want. We
Mhm.
also have Benina and Anne with elevated energy healing. They do sound frequencies. So you can come and try sound healing with the energy sessions or just use sound and see how healing that can be. So it's just beautiful. Like it's wonderful seeing people coming together, really shining their gifts and showing up for people in the community to help them because these times are kind of tricky, as you are aware, Jeannie, right?
Totally. Yes. Very, very tricky. It's a crazy, crazy time on the planet. That's what we just keep saying to ourselves. It's a crazy time on the planet.
Yeah, and the focus right now, cosmically too, with Pluto is really to go inside and transform inside. And I was hearing last year from Spirit that we need to start getting back to, yeah, what are individual gifts? Like almost, so I studied anthropology, and so a lot of the indigenous cultures and different civilizations back then, many many years ago, you had a certain role you played in society, and that was how you showed up as a profession. You know, so some people were like a blacksmith, some people were the hunter gatherer, some people were the caretakers for the children. So we're getting back to a time where we really need to have each person individually go back inside of them and see where are their gifts located, what's calling to them on a deeper soul level, and where do they really feel like they need more training possibly, or just really want to shine and help society moving forward. I get a lot of people, and you might see this too, Jeannie, with clients where they feel lost, whether it's young or older, or they feel like, you know, I did everything I should have done or was told to do. I went to school because my parents told me to study this degree. I not sure what degree to pick because I'm a young person, but I don't know what to do. But I'm hearing society tell me what to do. But that's not the way. It's really what's inside of you. Where do you feel led to walk through so that you don't go through life and then in your 30s, 40s, start feeling lost and having almost like a midlife crisis experience, which I like to call it's a midlife change. I need to reinvent myself. I don't like what I'm doing. I just showed up for everybody else but myself. So I notice doing this work for probably 12 years now. I started on my own journey with awakening in my 20s in Chicago. And I just got into energy and wanting to really find what my true calling was. And so I seem to attract clients that are interested in exploring that as well. But as a society, I was hearing, like I said last year, really strongly that we all are being called to step up and do that, not just some people. So it's really an individual transformation that's happening on the planet to help the whole, but it's not so much seeking groups to help you or guide you or tell you what you should and could and would be doing. It's really going inside and seeing what's there and what needs healing so that you can get the more clarity that you need to move forward in the right directions and not letting people outside of you tell you that. And I mean, I'm sure you're seeing a lot more people come to you, right, Jeannie, for that type of support.
I was just talking today to someone who, and it's crazy how COVID was the catalyst for so
Mhm.
many changes. I don't think that was the intention, but that wound up being a very interesting twist of events where people are waking up through COVID, and they had this chance to get off the rat wheel. I mean, they were going round and round and round, doing the same thing, getting up, going to work, going home, watching TV, going to bed, that kind of thing. And then the wheel had stopped, somebody put the brakes on, and suddenly they realize, oh, wait a minute. I don't really like what I'm doing. I don't really like the job I'm in. I don't
Mhm.
really like my life. I don't really like my partner sometimes. They're realizing
Yes, yes,
that.
yes.
All of these things. And because you're in constant motion, you don't have that ability to stop and reflect and to
Right.
look at your life in general and how it's affecting others and yourself. And so um, that process has triggered a lot of people that I'm working with that have come to me and they're like, listen, I'm just starting this spiritual journey. I don't know what it is. I'm having these experiences, and I want to understand it more, and I don't know what's going on, and I need some guidance and some help and some clarity, and then moving forward in that. Yeah, that's
Yes,
that's the
yes.
journey.
Yeah, and that's the times we're in, and you're right, definitely, I noticed I kept hearing from spirit, the floodgates are gonna open in 2020 when everyone was everything was shutting down and stopping and pausing, and that the work that we do and this type of work is going to be so needed, and you'll see why. And I can't, just exactly like you're saying, it's been blowing my mind because back in the day, doing this work for 12 years now, when I first started, I was so excited about it. I saw like the purpose, I saw how it transformed my life. I knew it could help anybody. And people would, sometimes come up to you and or me and be like, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'd be like, "Oh, I do this." And they're like, "Oh, I just go to my doctor. I don't need that," you know? And now I'll get people when I'm at my conventions and expos, they'll come up and they'll just be like, "Does this work for animals? Does this work for children? Can this help me? I'm in this situation." It's a lot of, we don't know what we don't know. And it definitely, the 2020 experience did open a floodgate of people really reinventing themselves. There's so many more like small businesses that are opening up, and people really trying to leaving careers they've had forever because they're feeling a call to search again for that deeper part of us. And Pluto is doing that intensely this year, and it's going to be happening the next couple of years. So, if people aren't feeling that quite yet, they might feel it soon or later on a different level. And I do feel like the sensitive people or people that are more sensitive, so like I'm an intuitive empath. I know you're sensitive too. Um, we're really feeling it and noticing and seeing the trends of what is happening, and how more people are coming and seeking and searching for this type of work, just in a difference. I mean, I was busy before, but it's like, wow, it's a little bit more mainstream even, which is fun. I mean, I'll go on
Yeah,
social media now, and all these people are talking about chakras, energy, breath work, all these different, I'm like, oh my
right.
God, this is almost like what I was hoping for years ago. And I can't even imagine others that have been in the industry even longer than 12 years of like seeing that transform and what the energy of the planet's doing right now with everybody with awakening to that,
Totally.
that
Yeah,
knowing.
I learned Reiki in 2005, which
Okay.
was I call it the entry drug into spiritual healing and spiritual awakening for me. And I opened my center 14 years ago,
Mhm.
and I would tell them, yeah, I connect with the energy and vibration of the dolphin. They're like, what? I mean, some people actually literally like turned around and walked out. And I'm like, okay, well, it's not for you. But now when I share, some of the work that I do, they're like, wow, that's so cool. They're totally shifting consciousness and totally shifting in energy. Yeah, whereas before I was almost afraid to, I'd have to say I'm a spa and I do some
Yeah.
energy work, like you'd have to go under another cover to do and survive. But now it's like, yeah, you can come out and say, yeah, I do past life regressions, we do Lemurian activations, we do, and they're like, what? Whoa, that is so cool. I want to learn more. And it's,
Yeah.
you know what?
Yeah. Well, when I had come out to Kauai, so my experience had been really like literally past lives. So I do past life readings, past life regression, and then I can do readings, for people and support. And then the IET program, that when I'm in that modality, I'll get blips, and sometimes just in general sessions with Reiki, blips and information that's really important and potent for the person at that time when they're coming in. But when I went to Kauai, I have to tell you, it was such a different experience for me. I got off the airplane and the energy that just hit me and the smells of the flowers in the air. I honestly, I was like, if there's almost a garden, I literally said, if there's a Garden of Eden, like this is it. Like it was unbelievable. And I just felt this high vibration, and I can tune into stuff like that. I can hold rocks, I can hold objects and, see what I'm feeling from that and stuff. But it really blew my mind. And then what I did was I went to a couple of special places. And I swam in one of the waterfalls there. And I have to tell you, like that night I had a dream series about information and downloads and clarity on just being in that waterfall and what's above there. And almost an activation, if you will. I told people back at home from the shop that I felt like I went through a class, like I went through a workshop
Mhm.
just by being in
Okay.
nature there. And then I noticed my sessions, the type of information coming through in my sessions was similar to what I usually get, but then there was another new layer of it. And it was the Lemurian and Pleiadian,
Mhm.
information and guidance that was coming through. And I was like, I mean, I didn't sign up for a class knowingly, but going to Kauai really was like another whole level an experience, that added unbeknownst to myself, you know?
Yeah.
S You've
It's
been
totally
living there
like yeah. I'm
for
sorry?
so long, but I don't know if you realized, like, when you maybe first moved to Kauai, did you notice that or, like, different shifts and experiences?
Well, not when I first came, I have to say, I don't that was 28 years ago, and I
Okay, yeah,
was still on my journey, but
yeah.
I was drawn here. I mean, we came on our honeymoon. Actually, I didn't go to Kauai. We went to Oahu and Maui, and just Maui was the one that first drew me, and I thought we'd wind up on Maui, but that spirit had another plan, and we wound up on Kauai, and
Mhm.
but that luckily my husband also was in alignment, like, yes, we need to live here, we need to be, yeah, or else it would have been a very short
Oh.
marriage. But no, no, I'm teasing.
Yeah.
But David, if you're listening, no, I'm teasing.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
no, it was the energy of the place that
Mhm.
just like the beauty that opens up that consciousness, and what it is like we're in the fifth dimension here. We're already in New Earth right here on Kauai and the Hawaiian Islands.
That's probably because I also noticed certain days I was just drained, and I think it was just my energy field being from the mainland, being in, I live in Raleigh's amazing. I'm from the Midwest originally in Chicago. Moving even from the Midwest to Raleigh, being closer to the ocean and the Smoky Mountains and the Blue Ridge Mountains is amazing. That shifts you. And then it was like, I guess I actually got into college, to Hawaii on purpose when I was in high school because I was like, I just need to go to Hawaii. I can have a license plate with a rainbow on it. I can have a ID with a rainbow on it. I'm like, I feel
Okay.
like that's where I belong. I've loved rainbows since I've been little. I love crystals, nature. And I got in, but my mom had talked to me. I don't like to fly and it'll be so expensive. Like just kind of talked to me out of that dream. And so since then, I'd been trying to get back to Hawaii just to visit for
Mm,
the first time for
mm,
years. I mean, because I'm 44 now. It's like for so long. And then last year, just these opportunities opened up, and I was almost like crying. And I have to tell you, the second time I came back, I was on the airplane with my family, and when I saw the island, I started crying like tears of
mm,
joy. You know, it was
mm,
just I felt such a connection to the land there, to just the experience I had briefly, like that first time, but meeting you, and then I went back to see you on purpose because I wanted one of your beautiful Andaras that you had me
yes.
hold when I first went, and I
Beautiful.
didn't know anything about them before. And
Mm,
I know you teach on these, and they're just amazing. And I'm so honored, have a couple of your babies at our shop in Raleigh that we can
yeah.
offer this area because like I said, I don't see a lot of people in this area at the shows I go to or at some of the shops have any of them or know even how to work with them. And I know you teach on that too online and in person, right?
Yeah, well, they definitely need to be shared with the masses. They've only been discovered in since 86. So, this
Mhm.
is not a crystal that's been around for a long, long, long time. This is only a new discovery. But in my belief, it was like we as humanity need to raise our vibration enough so that we can experience these crystals and feel the energy of these beautiful beings. And you can see the crystal itself, like it holds the light within it, and it's different than any other crystal that
Mhm.
you have. The light doesn't go through the crystal. It's like it captures the crystal and holds it within. And, there are like little worlds in these crystals. I feel like I can totally get lost in the crystal itself and just like, it sucks you in and does these transformation and the colors and the magic of all these. This is a little and
Oh, look at that color. That
usual color.
yeah.
Yeah, this one. is one of the rarer ones, and they're just so beautiful. And the energy of the Andaras is connected to Lemuria. And
Mhm.
Lemuria is that ancient civilization that existed before Atlantis. Most people have heard of Atlantis. So this was like, before Roman, before Egyptian, we're talking 30 million years ago, like a long time ago, like the first beings on the planet at that time were Mu, and then they were Lemurian, and then they were Atlantean. So
Mm.
it's this new energy of awakening that information. And that's why when you come to Kauai, and I hear this a lot, like people will cry, or they usually they cry when they leave. You were crying when you came.
I cried because I was so happy to be back. And there was
Yes,
one mountain range in particular I really connected with and I just was really drawn to. But I think I didn't cry when I left because I'm like, I know I'll be back or I'll probably be living here one day. That's what
yes.
I'm trying to manifest.
I've helped
Um,
a lot of people move here.
okay,
But
oh, no.
that energy is that remembering of like who we are, and that reawakening to that Lemurian energy and that past life that we've had in that lifetime, and reawakening to that process. And I feel like, we're ready now to evolve enough, like we've passed critical mass, and we're going to shift where more people are conscious on the planet and
Mhm.
into the ascension process, and going into that journey of awakening to all those past lives that we've had, and connecting
Yeah.
with those gifts and that information we had back then.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, so I'm color my spirit. I like, the rainbow. I do chakra balancing on, I think, purpose because that was one of my first things with the energy work was focusing on the chakras. It was the colors of the rainbow that, they vibrate with those areas, those portals in the body. And I have rainbow Crocs. Like I wear Care Bear shirts because I love Care Bears too. And free hug shirt, it has Care Bears on it, a rainbow. And when I went to Hawaii, of course, brought all my goods like that had anything on it. Here around town, I've noticed like a lot of people connecting more with that, and just like being drawn to it as well. But when I went to Hawaii, I was being asked if I was a local because I was already dressing kind of with these, colors and everything. And I've always loved colors since I've been younger. So it was just so magical. And I guess when I was learning a little bit when I was there about one woman was telling me that the symbol of the rainbow itself does that connect you with Lemurian energy no matter where you are like in the world? Like she was explaining that even if you don't live in Hawaii or I can't afford to, you can't move or you don't ever feel stuck because you can still connect to that energy, right?
Well, it's so interesting that you're connected to the rainbow, because to me, the dolphin is
Hmm.
also the rainbow bridge. There's the rainbow bridge, like in Thor, the movie
Uh-huh.
Thor, if you want to connect with that, or the
Yeah.
theology there. But the rainbow bridge is that connection to, the spirit world, the gods, and that kind of thing. And the information coming through is through the rainbow bridge. And when I see the dolphins also, and the shape of the dolphin is that curved kind of rainbow shape,
That's true.
is the connection from this physical reality to the spiritual realm, and other dimensions. And
Yeah.
so through that rainbow bridge, we can connect to. That's why, I don't know if you ever swim with dolphins, Sarah, but no.
Well, no, I have.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, I had the opportunity to, but a lot of times when I go to the coast out here, I'm on the East Coast of United States, and we have many beaches all up and down, and we'll usually see dolphins popping up. And not you don't sometimes always get to, but lately every time we've gone, it's like they kind of wink. Now when I was in Hawaii, they were jumping out of the water. You guys have, I think, spinner dolphins
Right.
there.
We have spinners, yeah. We have
Magical.
bottlenose too, but yeah.
Yeah. But we would see them kind of just like come up with their fins and then go down and they're maybe fishing or hunting, because there's a school of fish that they're following. But just beautiful. So I feel like they're winking, at us,
Mhm.
like if you get to see them and everything. And I was just in Charleston, South Carolina, And they have certain times during the day where at their waterfront park, the dolphins come and they say they fish there, but they'll literally come so close and you can see them. Now again, they're not jumping out of water, leaping, but it's again just a really special way to see them and connect with them. And I know a lot of people, a couple people that are really connected to the dolphin, but your shop, I have to tell you, when I walked through there, I know the type of sessions that you do. I haven't experienced them myself yet, but just the artwork and the feeling and the vibration and the energy in your shop, it was just a totally like a new experience for me, I have to say. And I haven't been somebody that worked with water so much. Like I know that how special water can be. But I have to say, after I visited your shop, I sat in the water in Kauai at one of the beaches, and I literally saw like a white, like it looked like white. I thought it was jellyfish. Like I didn't even know. I was sitting in the water, like my head was just sitting out. And I kind of started like kind of getting a little frightened because I thought there was some animal that was white going around me. But you were telling me actually like that's what can happen with, I think, connecting with the water and working with the energetics there. Is that true?
Well, there are light codes in the water. So you probably, and because you're so sensitive and aware, you
Mhm.
probably saw the light. You were probably seeing the light codes. I see it as like diamonds flickering and, like on top of the water, it looks like little diamonds, and it's
Wow.
just amazing. Yeah. And that's why the feel of the ocean, that's why I do my ocean therapy in the ocean, because people, and sometimes people here on vacation, they never even got in the water until, I do a session with them. I'm like, dude, you're, you're here on Kauai, get in the water.
Oh, in the water, yeah.
I know, but just the energy and vibration of the water has so much clarity, and I use it like, to clear energy is the best. Like if you're trying to
Mm.
clear your energy, just get in the ocean, get in the water. It's like clears it like it's no end. But the light codes are something new, and that's kind of been since COVID, where I
Hmm.
feel like the energy in the water is more high vibrational, and it's like when you're around dolphins, if you ever like were in the water swimming with dolphins, people get activations physically from the dolphins. That's because they're hitting you with their sonar, and they've been known to like heal tumors. They can tell women that are pregnant, and they're hitting. There's stories of people where dolphins were hitting with their nose, just a certain part of their body, and that's where there was a tumor, and they didn't even know about the tumor, and they were able to get it treated and everything else. But and sometimes the tumor just goes away after swimming with the dolphin. So all these amazing things happen. But I was feeling that
Uh-huh.
same kind of energy and vibration just by being in the water without the dolphins present in the water. I mean,
Right.
they're of course in our waters all the time, but not physically around where we could see them. But the energy of that vibration is in the water, when that's what I call the light codes coming through the water that just
Wow.
affect people. And to me, it's that activation and shifting and helping them go to the next level in their spiritual path.
Yeah, I mean that because like I said, I didn't understand that, and I've sat in the water on our coast, and I haven't had the same type of experience. The water, of course, is different around Kauai. You could see through it a lot more. You can see the wildlife right up by you amazingly, like around where you're located. It's just so magical just with the wildlife. But what's amazing and coming to my mind with that, which you explained with the dolphins, I didn't even know that it's like they're nature's sound healers then using
Mhm,
that, sonar, and I'm sure
mhm.
then other animals are doing that at the same time too, and so when people are really drawn to certain animals or, like Native American groups, they'll have, symbols for meanings. If you come across a grasshopper or you see a hawk, it means, to pay attention, in heightened intuition and things. But I'm sure a lot of our animals and wildlife, are doing some of those things at the same time just in Mother Nature and that we're not even aware of besides maybe their special meanings. Because I know a lot of practitioners that will just like myself look up, this person keeps reporting they see like ladybugs, or they're having a certain bluebird that lands by them all the time. So there's a message there, but it's like, what else are they attracting, I guess, and needing healing for? So that's like a whole other level. And that the animal is probably offering that energy to the person. I mean, I think that's amazing because, like I said, I haven't been as connected to dolphins as you are, but with my modalities and my training and just what's been drawn to me. But I really literally thought there was like a white jellyfish or some type of white thing that I wasn't familiar with or going around me and I didn't understand. But that's amazing that that's what you're noticing, because I didn't know how to explain that or talk about through that because I knew it wasn't an animal. So it's,
Yeah, and what you're saying about the dolphins is interesting because, going back to the Rainbow Bridge connection, is that the dolphins, when you swim with them, it's like they're there and
Mhm.
then they're gone. And you're like,
Oh,
wait a minute, where'd they go?
uh-huh.
And it was like they got to come up for air. Like, where are these dolphins? And a lot of times, yeah, they're shifting dimensions. So they're here in this dimension, and then they're going into another dimension, and that's like the Rainbow Bridge connection, going to other dimensional areas and other parts of the planet. They're shifting and going in all sorts of directions and all sorts of places, and like
Wow.
the shift that happens is, yeah, like a lot of times you'll be with the dolphins and you're like, oh, okay. And then you're like, wait, where'd they go? They're gone.
And do you feel so do you feel like since you're so connected with the dolphins, you're somebody that they say some people can just call them in? Like they notice that if they're around, the dolphins come, or like certain animals will just be there.
Um,
are you aware, like if you go out to an ocean energetic session, that they just get called in to that to support that person that you're supporting too?
I've gone past the physical. Like, I
Mhm.
don't need to connect with them on a physical level. I mean, they're always there. They're always here. They're in the center. They're around me right now. My husband often talks about when I bought my car. I was trying to choose which car I wanted, and
Uh-huh.
then I got into this Jeep Renegade, and it had a sunroof. I wanted this sunroof. It had all these features, and I was so happy. And he's like, "Oh my God, I saw you go into the car, and all these dolphins just kind of jumped in the car with like it just surrounded." It's like, and I knew that was the car. All right, well, this is going to be an
Well,
easy sale. I'm not even going to be able to negotiate with this guy because it's so obvious that
this is the car. Yeah.
this is the car. And see, the thing is that we're going to the next level.
Mhm.
Of course, swimming with the dolphins is great, and I've done it many times, and I love doing it. But we're even going beyond that and connecting with them, whether you're in the middle of the desert or whether you're here in Kauai or in North Carolina. I mean, it doesn't matter because they're all around us, and it's an energetic connection. And we are getting to the point where we're sensitive enough where we can feel their vibration, we can feel their energy. We don't have to see them, touch them, play with them, put them in aquariums, have them do tricks for us.
Yeah.
It's like we can connect with them on any time and any level. And when I do the dolphin energetics, it's so funny because I was a bit of a snob where I just wanted to connect with the dolphins. But
Uh-huh.
then I started connecting with the turtles. The turtles show up for us. And then the crabs will show up, and it's different for each person. But I always pay attention, like, what is nature going to show me today? Because when you're
Mhm.
in those higher levels of consciousness, nature starts to play with you in a different way, in a different vibration, and
Yeah.
animals show up in a different way. And like there was one time where there was an, a blue herring that had
Uh-huh.
come by, and I'd never seen this at this location I go to all the time. And he's on the rock, and I'm working on my client in the water. They can't see what's going on, but I see this bird just sitting there on the rock, and then we finish the session. The bird goes in, he has a long beak, he caught a fish, and then he
Wow.
came by to show us the fish, literally, like right in front of us, show us the fish, and then flew off. And I knew that that was a message for this person, and this was like, the survival and all those other messages of moving through. And it was like nature will start to play with you in these magical, crazy ways. And all you have to, when you just be present
Right.
in the moment and open to receiving the messages or being aware. I mean, I'm
Mhm.
sure it's happening all the time, all around us, but people don't notice. Like,
Right.
they don't
And
notice that bird flying through your window 3 times, or that bluebird you were talking about, or that, until we get to that place of consciousness and stillness and awareness. And we're like, oh, wait, why there's this, for me, there's this butterfly that shows up outside my treatment room
yeah.
whenever I'm working on someone. And I'm like, wait a minute, butterfly is only less, is it the same butterfly? I gave it a name now, Madeline. And it's like, it's crazy. Yeah.
That's amazing. So, like similarly, I always have been seeing a lot of rainbows. So I see sundogs. There'll be little rainbow spots. And I just capture all the photos I can, and I get so excited. I saw a rainbow cloud this year, which was a first for me.
Oh my gosh.
But I just take pictures of those because I know that there's so much meaning and it's special to be able to see them. And then I want to know who else is seeing this, And so I'll a lot of times share on social media, "Hey, I got a rainbow today," or I got sundogs, or wow, the moon has a halo that looks rainbowy, at the beach. And but at the shop, a lot of times at my window, I have one window in my therapy room, and we'll get a dove that comes to that ledge, and I'll have the curtains drawn just to get ready for the session to start preparing the person. But I'll see the bird just kind of fly through the curtains because they're a little bit transparent, or translucent, I should say. And it'll either be like a cardinal or a dove. And people have broken into tears when I've just mentioned, "Oh, there's a dove that just came to the window," because a lot of times there are people that are already like maybe connected, or they see that symbolism for that animal as representative of like maybe a loved one that's crossed over, or something special that has meaning to them. But it's amazing what our animals will do. It's like it was like perfect timing.
Yes.
Dove and like just like was just saying, "Hey, I'm here as some support to," or "This person needs that," in their session, just kind of
Oh, I
like you're
totally agree. Yeah, that's really cool that we both have that. That is really,
yeah.
really
And then
awesome.
I was talking to you a little bit about working with animals, and people just ask all the time, like, how does that work? Like, how do you work on an animal and get information? And again, it's all about bridging that communication. So, we love our pets and our dogs, our cats, our horses, like whatever animals we have, depending where we live. And so but sometimes what happens is like they can't communicate or speak English to us. So
Mhm.
we don't always know if we're not slowing down or trying to connect more or trying to get curious enough of what's wrong with them, especially if their behaviors change. So I had somebody that their cat was going to the bathroom inside the house constantly after she got back from a trip. And the cat never did that, but she was worried the cat was sick. So I did a session on the cat, and she wanted to know if she really like she if any information came through that the cat's really sick and needs to go to the vet, but she was going to take the cat anyway. And then if there's anything else there. So
Yeah.
I did the session, and what I'll get is I'll get like images. I'll see images of the animal showing me different things like what they're doing or how they're feeling, or that they don't feel invited, or they feel left out sometimes, or they're feeling left alone, or whatever, and that's why sometimes the behavior has changed. So this particular case, the cat session, this I didn't know this because the owner didn't share this with me, but she had left a lot longer the cat with some random person that was newer to the cat.
Mm,
Um, and the cat didn't like that person.
mm,
It wasn't this person they usually left him with. And so the
mm,
cat was worried like like a human child or person would be, are they coming back? How long is she going to be gone? She's been gone for so long. I mean, literally worried sick like a person can feel sometimes.
mm,
And so what was happening was in that chakra area, or the lower part of the body of the animal, there was then congestion, blockages, and stress, which was then causing the animal to have to pee or seem like it had maybe a UTI. So she came back home to that, of course, very really frustrated. But then once I talked to her after I did the session about what information was coming through, The cat was also, she said, a lot more not as cuddly with her, and some cats are a little bit more independent. She said the cat shifted its behavior into being more loving and cuddly with her because it felt seen and heard from the
Mhm,
session that we talked about. And that I explained to her some of the areas where the cat was worried. So, a recommendation would be if you're going to leave your pet for a while, literally talk to them and try to communicate with
mhm,
them, even if,
right.
some people might think that's strange, but the intent, animals pick up on the energy. So if your intention is there that I'm going to connect with my pet or my child or my baby or whoever, and let
Mhm,
them know I'm coming back. It'll just be a little bit. It's okay. Just spending those little moments when our life is so distracting and busy to do that can really like add a whole bunch of like support, love, more understanding to the situation. So once that was said, I think she took the cat possibly to the vet, did not have a UTI. The cat stopped peeing in the house the week after less, and then finally just stopped on its own. So it was that bridging that communication that, we can do in our sessions for people, for animals, for young people, babies, toddlers, teenagers, whoever. And then there's so many people also that just aren't connected with their feelings or the emotions, they'll tell me. And I'm
right.
a, I'm a very high emotional intelligence. I just am born that way. And we're starting to realize it's not just book smart intelligence that's important. It's
Mhm,
emotional intelligence. It's intelligences in different ways. And we don't have the systems to really probably measure those things yet, but some people have those as gifts more and they're heightened more than some other people. So the people that have them heightened can really explain and teach people and give them maybe a little bit more of an understanding if they're not quite there. It's almost like lifting. I always tell people, everyone's intuitive. They can be. It's just some people are born with big muscles with it. Others have to work harder, like you go to the gym to build up your muscle mass, right? So
mhm.
there's things you can do to practice to really slow down, cut out the distractions, tune in, and try different things to build that ability up. Because I took anthropology, we used to all live outside. We used to not have these huge dwellings or comfortable spaces and places. So we needed our instincts to tell us if there was danger, if we should worry about something, if someone felt creepy, all those things. And our society is so distracting that I feel like people don't trust themselves. They're just, okay,
Right.
I'll just do what is told to me outside of me. But we're going through a phase where it is extremely important now for everybody to tune in and see how are they feeling? Like that might have seemed right before, but does that feel right now? And even if it seems like it doesn't make sense, or you're wanting to not hurt people's feelings, it's like, if it doesn't make sense for you now, it needs to change because that's
Totally.
what the cosmos is having us do as we're elevating to, like you said, that 5D energy. We can't just start just telling everybody outside of us to just tell us what to do anymore. And what's interesting I've noticed is we do that instinctually when we have children. We have to guide them when they're little for safety, to feed them. You can't have candy all the time. You need to go, maybe try to go potty when they're little. Hey, you can't just go stay up all night. You need to go to school the next day. So we get conditioned and used to seeking outside of ourselves for support and guidance. And what happens is some people just continue to do that as they're
Mhm,
growing. We do that. I did that in college. I was like, what should I study? I don't know. Somebody tell me. Like I didn't slow down enough to even tune in for myself when I
mhm.
was younger to see what is it I really want to do. I just knew I wanted to go to Hawaii. And so I didn't care what I was going to study up there. But what I realized during my
You
awakening
made it.
was, yeah, I did. I made it a few years later. But what I realized was, and this is what I've seen with clients too, people will come in older and say, I did everything for everybody my whole life like I was supposed to. I was a good wife. I took care of the kids. I raised them. I'm still like raising them. They're adults. And now I'm watching their kids. I never did anything for myself. And they'll be in tears about it. And that
Mm,
is not our existence that we're supposed to be continuing down that path anymore. Like, yes, we do need to still take care of our families and show up, but it is so important to start tuning in more and seeing what's there, what's calling at us, and how can we maybe balance that or come up with some ways that we can support ourselves at the same time as we're showing up and needing to take care of our families too. And I see that in so many different phases and ways that can fit in. And I love that some of these college kids are coming in and they're just saying, I mean, I chose social work, but I want to do what you're doing, or I feel a call to like do like this. And so,
yeah.
we really come up with a plan like, All right. Well, college would be probably a good investment for you. So, but let's pick something that will help you with your specific needs and where you feel like your gifts lay. And then you can add on to those things because until our universities have dolphin energetics in the
Yeah, there
ocean,
you go.
Reiki for class and healing touches classes. Oh my gosh, that would have been the first major I picked, but I had to go outside of that and try to find all these things and add-ons like as I continued to develop and evolve,
Yeah,
so.
I don't think we ever stop learning though. I think when you stop learning, you die. You keep growing and expanding. I'm always learning. I'm always taking classes or trying to learn something. And yeah, I never feel like, okay, I've reached it now. I've reached the pinnacle of where I need to go. No, yeah, I'm
I can
still,
relate. I can relate because I'm like, I've got all these energy modalities I'm training. I'm good. And then IET was offered, someone came to the shop, Anna Elizabeth, and she's like, I'm a teacher with this program. It works with angelic energy. It clears the emotion. I'm like, I want that, and I'm
yes.
like, do I really need another modality? And I was like, yes. So again, I followed my gut instincts, my guidance, and I added that. And I think it's a beautiful blend to help another way of supporting. So
Yeah.
with clients that keep coming back, there'll be different types of sessions we'll do. So depending on what
Right.
they need, it's like a guidance counselor for, okay, so as you're continuing to unfold and get more clarity and guidance for your own life, what are some other modalities or supports you need? And sometimes it's not with me. Sometimes it's they've always wanted to try acupuncture. So then you'd go see Zach. Sometimes it's a modality that we don't have at the shop. That's okay. Maybe we have a referral for a provider that's in the area, or there's a virtual person. So that's why I'm so excited with the onlineness that,
I love what you're doing with your shop, and that's what I do here too.
yeah, thank
Well,
you. Well, like I was
thank
going to
you,
say, just
Sarah.
like with the Andaras, you can teach that to people because like
Yeah.
I said, I don't have any practitioners or nor myself that are as familiar as with the knowledge that you have to share. So
Yeah, it's so much fun. The Andaras are just next level. We have these tools, and some of the tools are physical, and the Andaras are a physical tool. It's a crystal. They're crystals to help us, awaken to this information and to access. I use it and I go into meditation and get downloads and information from it all the time, and it just helps, on our journey, whatever can help on our journey. Well, Sarah, thank you so much for coming on today. Can you tell people just one more time how they can get a hold of you and find your website and everything else?
yeah, no problem. So colormyspirit.com is the website that it can lead you to the Color My Spirit Wellness Shop. We have a link on there with a drop down with all the practitioners that are affiliated with Color My Spirit, whether they're off site in different states and places or they're working out of the shop as well for in-person sessions. A lot of them also offer virtual sessions and experiences. And a lot of us can be booked privately for mini retreats or just kind of special experiences that we do. I have an art healing class that I do with Sammy, and we do that offsite at a restaurant. So you can come out and learn how to make a crystal
Yeah,
grid
that's
and make it
awesome.
pretty and learn a little bit more of how to use it. And we have other topics that we do that way as well. So aside from that, we are on Facebook under Color My Spirit. We are also on Instagram, so you can see some of the fun videos I like to try to put together. Of course, they're colorful and full of music, but and then some of the other practitioners will have some ads on there of classes that they're doing, ways that they can help support people as well. And then I'm also on LinkedIn if that's interesting. Again, all under Color My Spirit. And yeah, so I guess they just Google us, what will pop up, and then you can reach out to myself. A lot of times people aren't sure where to start. And I do free calls all the time. If you want to talk a little bit about where you're at, what you're looking for, I'm happy to help guide you to a practitioner, to an experience, or recommendation to something offsite that you can find to help better support yourself too. So I'm happy. I like doing that.
Awesome. Yeah, we do that too. It's great. That is a really great thing that you offer that, because a lot of people do, they're like, listen, coming to Hawaii. I don't know what I want. Tell me, can you direct me or lead? I don't know which modality to pick because we have so many. It's kind of overwhelming. So
Yes.
yeah, that's a great way to do that. Offer a free session and then direct people where they need to go.
Yeah, yeah, and we have also an event coming up. We'll be at the Body Mind Spirit Expo. We usually do that twice a year at the North Carolina Fairgrounds. We'll have 3 booth spaces there, and some of the practitioners, Elevated Energy Healing, will be there with their sound experiences mini sessions. Sammy will be there doing fairy hair and Akashic records, and then we'll have Jeannie Winters there, another Jeannie in my life that I
Yes.
know. She'll be doing human design and astrology readings, and then I'll have goods for sale. Also have some of Jeannie Russell's beautiful Andaras that came all the
Yes.
way from Hawaii from Mount Shasta.
Beautiful. Ugh,
Um, and then we also, what I'm known for at that event is the gemstone crystal lamps. So this like a beautiful rose quartz
rose
piece.
quartz, beautiful.
We have some beautiful smokies that we offer, and they're lamps, but a lot of times they're just beautiful. Bring a little bit of nature indoors to help support you if you're a therapist, if you're a school teacher, if you just want to have something like this in your kitchen and just touch it, every so often. They
Mm.
also light up really beautifully. And then I'll just show you one more little piece that I'm excited about. We got some amethyst recently. So we'll
Oh,
be,
that's gorgeous.
yeah, and again, can be lit up, but it's just beautiful. Mother Nature did good on its own. So
Yeah, totally.
um, so we'll have all that, and we're happy to answer questions. We usually talk to a lot of the thousands of people that walk through that expo, just answering questions and again, guiding people to where they need to be, to the right practitioners, the right experiences, and the right people. So
Can they buy those crystals and items on your website?
that is coming. But yeah, I
Okay.
do sometimes I am also, I forgot to mention on TikTok, but I usually will do a post where I'll show some of the new items that I've gotten, some of the lamps, and I have sold many that way. So I
Mhm.
just got back from refilling up at one of my wholesalers that I like to go, and they get things directly from Brazil. So a lot of these lamps are made and harvested in Brazil, which is one of the countries that has some of the highest quality gemstones in the
Oh,
world.
yeah.
So
So,
I just am very attracted to Brazilian. It's like I won't even know they're from Brazil, and I'll just be attracted to a stone, and someone will say, "Oh, that one's from Brazil." I'm like, "Of course it is." But of
yeah.
course, there's beautiful stones around the world, like Peru, Uruguay, Africa that you can find. But so we'll have these, and I'll do like a special. So I'll probably do a lineup of all the amethysts that I have, all the selenite, all the smokies, all the rose quartz, as a sneak peek before the expo, and then people can actually purchase them online and have them shipped if they would like to as well. So
Sweet. Well, thank you so much, Sarah, for joining us. We'll see you on Kauai soon, I'm sure.
manifesting getting there, yes, and bringing
Yes, we'll
people
set
to
that
you.
intention.
All
All
right,
right.
sounds good. Thank you, Jeannie.
Hui ho, everybody. Have a great day. And